Welcome, welcome. We are excited to have our first webinar after ISC West.
Yes, it was fun.
That was a good event.
Yeah,
it was a really fun event, and we're excited to share with you guys everything you missed when we, if you weren't able to attend. Hopefully, some of you were able to be there. Before we dive into things, we should do a little housekeeping. You know, like all of our webinars, we are recording this, so we're going to post this on our YouTube page later on today. You'll be able to watch that again, share that with other people, things like that, of course. How often are you posting new videos on YouTube? I mean, that's channel's getting a lot of traffic.
There's a ton, yeah. We try and do weekly,
okay,
right, on YouTube, and then we're continuing to post on LinkedIn, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of videos.
And we've got a lot of subscribers now. And of course, many of you, if you're not subscribed already, I would definitely recommend. You just posted, what, 4 or 5 new videos today
on
with
YouTube.
Yeah, which had you know, about our partners. There were several partners we visited, alarm.com. We posted the videos from those, tour of our booth, all sorts of things. So we had some kind of, I wouldn't say it was live at ISC, but we recorded it at the time, and then we posted it later. So those are all posted up on the YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber to our YouTube channel, I definitely recommend you getting on there. It's youtube.com/Qolsys.
Yep.
So pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, for those of you that want to participate in today's webinar, we don't want this simply to be Kelsie and I chatting. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear your comments. If you're logged into the GoToMeeting on a computer or through the app on a tablet or your phone, you are able to actually chat in questions. We've got so many people on the webinar today that we couldn't unmute everyone. It would just be really noisy. There would inevitably be someone in the background driving in their car, yelling at their kids. Yeah, listen to the radio. Who knows?
Always happens.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that you still have a way of participating with the webinar today. If you look at your GoToWebinar control panel, you'll find a section called Chat or Questions. Go down to that, find that little section, and I want you to type out a message to us. Say hello. We'd love to say hello to you. We've got Whitney on the other side of the camera here who is kind of managing those questions. Whitney, we got some people coming in here now?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Well, guys, we're really excited. So again, find this section on your GoToWebinar control panel that says Chat or Questions, and type in a message of where you're from, what the weather's like. We're here in our Utah marketing office
today.
It's absolutely fantastic. There's kind of a glare here. I want to like almost turn the camera. We
open up the window.
Open up the window. Should we just we could have this window open the whole time. We'll just do a live stream from the golf course.
Seriously.
Yeah. Hang out on the balcony the whole night. Weather is fantastic. Weather is fantastic out here.
We cannot complain.
No. And we're looking forward to a nice season of golf. We won't get to play much unless you come out and visit us, so hopefully you will. But the Utah, weather is just amazing. Although it did just snow just the other day too. So if you don't like the weather, just hang on a few minutes and it'll change.
What do we say? Give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I gotta get this readjusted.
So, Whitney, anything popping in right now that we need to be aware of, or
just everyone saying hi?
Just everyone saying hi. Where's the farthest person away?
Right now we got Florida.
Florida. Wow, nice. Okay, good variety. Well, everyone, again, really glad to have you on today. I would say let's dive right into the meat of the presentation. We really want to share with you some of the things we showed at ISC and answer all your questions if you weren't able to either attend or if you weren't able to get all of your questions answered at ISC. So first, let's start about where we were. If you're familiar with the ISC West show floor, the main entrance is kind of here in this area here. We actually had a small booth right here in the front entrance. It was kind of a hallway sign. We'll show you what that looked like. Hopefully you stopped by there and said hello to us, and then when you came inside the show floor, you came around and came into this JCI booth. The JCI booth is Johnson Controls. They're a sister company for us, and we had a small section there in the JCI booth. We met several of you there, which was fantastic. Yeah. And then if you came down the hallway towards alarm.com, we actually were the first time on the show floor right there next to alarm.com and between JCI and alarm.com. So it was a fantastic location. We're going to show you both pictures and video from that today. But we also were in the alarm.com hub room. So if you were over in the alarm.com hallways where they do their training meetings and things like that, you would have seen the Qolsys panel and live view, both live view with the video cameras, but also live view with the Skybell on the screen there. In the hub room, we were in the rapid response booth. They've been a great partner with us. down in further down on the show floor. And then the Z-Wave Alliance, we were also up on the interoperability wall and got to also participate in that panel. That was a lot of fun. We got to participate.
You did that, right?
Yeah, I got to speak on a panel with them
cool.
about smart home technology and the way the industry is going. So that was a lot of fun to do that one.
Yeah.
And then Brinks Security was Brinks Home Security has just relaunched their brand and is going out looking for new dealers and things like that. And we got to be in that booth as well.
That was fun because our panel was the only one in that booth, right?
Yeah, so it was pretty exciting to see that. It was really cool to see that panel with the Brinks logo and see what Brinks is doing and be a part of that. So again, a lot of fun on the show floor. We also had a party.
That was fun.
It was an invitation only party for some of our top customers and prospects, and it was standing room only. It was really packed. Really
lots
packed.
Lots of people, lots of good conversations.
Yeah. You were stuck down at the bottom, just making sure everybody could get up the way there. I about halfway through, I went upstairs and I couldn't even get in the door. It was just, I mean, we got this giant suite and it was just packed to the gills. The police actually showed up and said, "What's going on here? We didn't know there was a party." And we're like, "We didn't know we were supposed to tell anyone." They're like, "Well, just keep the noise down, okay?" I'm like, okay. So wasn't really doing. It was interesting because for the first time at ISC West, we actually had a party where it wasn't a bunch of loud music and dancing. Instead, it was talking, and we just talked and interacted and had a great time. It was really fun. Really fun. So I think we'll be doing that again next year and probably expanding it out. I wanted to show you guys the hallway display. This is the display that was out in the hallway right before you'd walk on the show floor. We had 5, 6 panels, 5 panels.
I think there were about 5 panels. Yeah.
Set up on the table there, and you had quite a few people popping in there.
Yeah. The hallway display was busy. It was perfect because it was right as you walked in. So like you said, everyone saw it, and then everyone was really excited to come to the booth and learn more. We just had the panels, so everyone wanted to see the demos.
When I had originally said it was just panels and, don't go deeper into it. And you guys actually ended up opening a panel up. Why was that?
People wanted to see exactly what PowerG was. They wanted to see where it fit into the panel. And I think being able to visualize it was perfect for them. And then say, go to our booth and you're going to see all the additional features, equipment.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people took that cue and then came right into the booth and came and saw. So that was fantastic. We'll definitely be doing that booth again next year. Or that display again this year. The actual booth on the show floor was pretty fantastic. We had towers. We had these fantastic wooden tables that Kevin Woodworth built for us. We brought these back to our Utah office and are using those for displays and things like that. We'll be using those for the webinars. Probably filming some videos out of it. We were able to showcase our packaging on the booth. I'm just selling today.
It's Monday.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic. Here's a quick little video. What's your favorite part of the booth, Kelsie?
My favorite part was the displays. And
these end cap displays.
Yep, and with that, it was showing how interactive things are.
Okay.
More than anything, showing how quickly a door locks and unlocks, a light bulb turns on and off. We were talking, we said people were shocked at how quick everything was. And so I think just being able to show them how it works. Yeah. How it interacts.
Well, that speed, I mean, obviously it's because Z-Wave Plus is a really fast technology. So the signal between here and here can go really fast. But also the dual path connectivity, if you're sending signals from the cloud, from your phone, that really helps speed up the panel. And then a quad-core processor doesn't hurt. So
no. Well, and just with there being so many different booths there, still everything was just as quick as in a home.
Yeah, that really shocked me. I was really expecting to have more problems. We did have one problem. We were trying to film that video about live view where the live view wouldn't connect. But we went to another one and it went just fine. But it was really cool to see how everything works together. And these end cap displays are going into a few key distributors right now, and then I believe they're available for sale.
Cool.
Yeah. Whitney, isn't that right? You got these end cap displays for sale, right?
Yeah, we're gonna post them this week, hopefully to the store.
Okay, so if you guys are interested in getting one of these, look on the marketing store on the dealer portal. They're made of real solid metal.
They are solid panels.
Metal, they've got magnetic signage, so as we get new signage and new things, you can just peel that right up. So really nice to be able to just change this stuff out. If you looked at this and you're like, I don't want a picture of Kelsie on my thing, you could just pull it right off.
You
can have a picture of Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We'll take a selfie and add it instead, right?
Okay. So really nice to have that great visual, and then of course there's places for everything. So you got a set place for the door lock.
Swivels, you can see both sides of it.
Yeah. And then you got the light bulb installed in there. And then these are places where you can mount devices of your choice, right?
Yep, definitely.
We have door sensors, the standard door sensor, the micro door sensor, a flood sensor, and a motion sensor. But you could probably put almost anything you wanted on there. And then, of course, the panel mounts right there in the middle. And then we also have a slot up here for the die cut brochures, which is probably one of the most popular pieces we have.
People loved these.
Why is that?
ISC. More than anything, it was the takeaway of here's how big the panel is, and then it's all the features that we would talk about while they were in the booth.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. So those are also available on the dealer portal for sale if you want to get the new version of the die cuts. Pretty cool stuff. It highlights all that, last year, if you remember these die cuts, we had a panel with this, some icons and features listed on them. This year, we've decided to put some imagery on it, and it's all thanks to Whitney. She designed these for us, and they've been very, very popular. Yeah. So excited to have those pieces too. So, well, that was cool. My favorite piece was probably the live view, demoing live view. I love.
You should show that.
Yeah. In fact, I want to show this. So this is. You and I were filming this, for one of the videos we're making, and it was really cool to be, have the camera right there on the side of this thing and be able to see how quickly it would move. I mean, it was literally only half a second off. Yeah. So,
I think people like this too. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Being able to see it live was really cool.
Well, live view was probably one of the big things at the show that we were talking about that was new for this year. People had heard about it. Some of you may have been on the webinar with us previously where we talked about live view. We talked about the features and benefits of it. The streaming of these alarm.com cameras to the 7-inch touchscreen. That was enabled in our 2.1 software update. It is technically in beta right now, or I guess they call it soft launch. But I know that alarm.com is,
alarm.com, right?
Yeah, anybody can get on it. So if you talk to your alarm.com rep, they want as many people as possible on it. As long as you're the type of person who's willing to give feedback during a beta, and you realize that it is a beta. I haven't heard of any problems with it.
I haven't either. And this was another one that worked great, ISC. Well, we even had alarm.com people coming over to show dealers live view.
Yeah.
So it's fun seeing how excited they are about it.
Yeah, we've got the alarm.com dealers coming, representatives coming over, Johnson Control representatives coming. We have all sorts. In fact, some of our dealers were showing up and saying, "Hey, come see this demo." It was really fun to be able to just go in here and play video, and it would play right there, and you could see yourself and see how quickly it was. Yep. I personally use it in my house because I'm part of the beta. I've got a camera downstairs in the basement, and my wife and I all the time will check on the kids to see if they're doing okay, just by going up to the panel and pressing live view, and we can see them right there.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, really nice, really powerful. Those cameras are appearing in a list, and then the thumbnails are captured automatically by the camera. So whatever that last image was, it captures that and saves as an updated thumbnail. So you just touch that thumbnail and select the camera, and it goes. So it's pretty nice. And then, of course, you could touch an image and view it full screen, and being able to watch that video live. We do it with multiple cameras, right? That's the 722, the 7, which is the outdoor camera, the 522, and the 521. And coming soon, we'll be talking about support for Skybell.
Yeah, which will be exciting.
Which we got to show at ISC West. It didn't work very well in our booth.
No.
Although, what was interesting was the live view on the panel was actually working with the camera locally. So we actually connected the camera that was on the display to the built-in hotspot or access point, if you will, on the panel. And it was working even without an internet connection.
That was cool. That, I think, surprised even some of the techs.
Yeah.
That we were able to do that.
I didn't think it was going to work, and it consistently worked throughout the show. And the only time it wouldn't work is when we found out that they actually unplugged everything and all the power was off on it. So, but other than that, it actually worked really well. Yeah. They get a little eager to get out. And the other big awesome thing was IQ Remote. IQ Remote, a lot of people got really excited about this. People had seen it or seen press releases, things like that, but hadn't actually gotten to see it in action. We had them on all the towers, the middle tower that we had. And it was great to be able to go up and walk and touch it and see how the interface on the IQ Remote was the same as the one on the panel. You'd arm one and the other one would arm instantly.
So simultaneous.
Oh my gosh, it was easy. Super easy. And it looks fantastic. You can even see this. I don't know if this picture's doing it justice here for you guys, but really, really small, really thin.
I just finally put my remote in my bedroom.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Loved it. Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yep, works really well. Looks great. It's easy to have the access in my bedroom because sometimes I forget to arm it.
Did you turn on nighttime mode?
I did. Yep. So I turned on nighttime mode. there were a few people that had questions about that at the booth,
Mm-hmm.
so we were able to answer those. But yeah, nighttime mode.
And that's a new
great.
feature in 2.1 as well, is adding that nighttime mode to the remote, so that if you are putting it in a bedroom, you don't have to worry about noises or light or things like that coming off that remote.
And I think to notate that goes in, you do all of that through the photo settings.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I was looking in the remote settings, but it's the photo settings.
Yeah, it's inside the photo frame. It's considered photo. Really, when we used to call it screensaver, but we're really trying to market that as a photo frame because we feel like that's where people are going to get more use out of it. People don't think of having a screensaver on things, so I think that'll probably resonate more. But you're right, it does create a little confusion there, so it's good clarification there. IQ Remote has the same UI as the IQ Panel 2. Like we said, it's repeating your chimes and your voices, does emergency panics.
Mm-hmm.
You can get disarm photos from the built-in camera.
Yep.
And full Z-Wave control. Do you have any Z-Wave devices in your house yet?
No, we're just in the little apartment. So I've got some lights around, but that's about it.
So you are able to control all of your Z-Wave devices the same as you do on the IQ Panel. I've got over 40 different Z-Wave devices in my house.
This house is unreal.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not even the best case scenario. I've got several others that I'd like to add, but Ken Arnold, who's our director of PR, has, I think he said like 75 or something like that.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's like, come check out his house.
Yeah, it's quite a few, So I'm wondering now if there's someone who's got more Z-Wave devices on the line. Do any of you have? I want to know who the record holder is. I think we should give a T-shirt to the record holder. Yeah. Who's got the most Z-Wave devices in their house?
They should have to beat you. How many do you have, Ian?
49.
49. Does anyone have more than 49?
I bet they're. You know what? Even if they don't me, I want to know who's got the most.
That's fair.
So Whitney, who's got the most? Tell us who's got the most Z-Wave devices. Tell them to jump in there and let us know.
Okay, give me a few minutes to get the responses. And
okay, great. So if you think you've got the most Z-Wave devices in your own personal house, we're going to give you a T-shirt. Now, if you don't have a system in your house, shame on you, I guess is what we should say. You gotta have a system in your own house. I mean, it's hard to sell that stuff if you don't have a system.
Are you gonna put a qualifier? What kind of panel you're using?
No, we're not a qualifier in the panel. I don't care, because all I care about is Z-Wave. If you're using it with an inferior panel, I totally respect it. We'll get you upgraded at some point. Who knows? Maybe you'll win an IQ panel on one of these webinars.
We had a question come in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Can
what's
you
that?
see live view on the IQ remote?
Very good question. Very good question. Not currently. That is part of the roadmap. As IQ Remote just barely came out, we want to make sure everything's stable, that everything works well back and forth between the panel and the remote before we start adding complexity like live view. And live view is definitely exciting and would be fantastic on the IQ Remote. It's just a matter of making sure that everything's working right, and we don't want to hurt it before we do it. So we're actually in the process of testing all that right now. So great question. Very good question. Other questions, Whitney?
Sorry.
Nothing relevant to the No, it's okay. Keep going. Interrupt us when you can.
I had someone accuse me of being A.
No.
I know that.
We've got Chad in Arizona.
Okay.
Who has 32.
32?
Oh, wow.
That's respectable.
Hey, yeah.
Go Chad. So if you can beat Chad in Arizona, you can get a T-shirt. So far, Chad, T-shirts for you. So we'll see if you win. I want to show this quick video. This is something that Jesse put together. Jesse's our marketing manager for digital design. He does our website, dealer portal, things like that. All our animation. So I wanted to show this video real quick, just so you guys can see. This is another example of a video that's online that you can use for marketing. Hopefully this plays okay. Sometimes the video's a little stuttery. Yeah. I don't know how well it's going to play for everyone, so hopefully
I'll send the link.
It's a good idea. Yeah. Whitney will send the link out to you guys. We'll pull that off of our website and send that out to you so you can watch it later on your own time. IQ Remote. Yeah, just off the IQ Remote page. Oh, you're totally fine.
Jennifer's door open.
All right.
Perfect.
The other big thing, and Whitney, if there's any questions about IQ Remote, we definitely want to answer those. But while we're waiting for those to come in, the other big thing is Dual-SRF. This was probably one of the most exciting things.
It
got
was.
a lot of traffic. A lot of traffic. What's Dual-SRF, Kelsie?
So you're putting me on the spot now. Now I'm like stressed. We talked about it all.
It's okay. Someone said you did a great job at the sign. So just act like we're a dealer walking.
I know. No pressure. So Dual-SRF, what we're doing with the panel is we're going to be offering, I'm going to grab one. So PowerG. Is that kind of what we're talking about?
Yeah, Dual-SRF is the concept of two. SRF is security radio frequencies.
Yep.
So two radio frequencies within a single panel.
So PowerG is what we talked about. So with that, we are going to have 3 panels.
Mm-hmm.
So can you see all these? So this would be your Honeywell 2 gig. So this is the 345.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our S-Line encryption 319.5 with PowerG.
Mm-hmm.
And the 433 DSC with PowerG.
Mm-hmm. So all of them have PowerG. All of them will also have an additional card inside it that will give you the legacy technology. We call it legacy technology because that communication protocol has been around for 20, 30 years. Yeah, it's been a really long time.
Using
yeah, I mean, and we've started with this S-Line technology where we said, okay, we're going to take the 319.5 protocol and we're going to make it better by adding a layer of encryption to it. So you could still use an Interlogix or whatever sensor that was on 319 with the panel, but it wouldn't be encrypted. But if you wanted to use our sensors, like the IQ Mini or the IQ Door Window or things like that, they were all encrypted. And it was great. It was a lot of people started really latching onto encryption, and encryption is going to become a bigger and bigger story. In fact, if you haven't seen the white paper,
posted that. Yep.
Yeah. Where you posted on?
It should be on all social media outlets. It's on our website newsroom as well.
Okay.
And the dealer portal.
So
read it though. I mean, it's like 12 pages, but it's
really detailed. Parks Associates did a really in-depth white paper on encryption and why encryption is important and why we need to move to encrypted sensors as soon as possible. So we started doing that with our S-Line, and then that was also backwards compatible for Interlogix. So this is basically the panel you're used to installing today. Only this summer we'll be adding a PowerG radio instead, and that PowerG radio will allow you to do PowerG sensors and the 319.5 or Interlogix sensors. So it's a really great way of being able to bridge the gap. PowerG is fantastic technology,
so many
right?
Features. It was fun learning about it before ISC because it's better encryption.
Mm-hmm.
So they use the military grade encryption. The range, I think, is what.
Range is definitely the most popular thing. I mean, we at the show floor in the video that was posted on YouTube today, you can see that. But we literally got from our room at the front of the show floor all the way to the back of the show floor, out the door, through the loading dock, and the sensor was still working in the middle of all that crazy interference at ISC West.
I think we're 4 times the range, right?
At least.
Yeah.
We're trying to be really conservative with that.
Definitely.
I mean, depending on the situation, it could be more, but we're talking about never needing a repeater ever again, going through walls. I mean, that's what
people were excited about. It's going to make installation so much easier.
Yep, and less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew this, but the PowerG was actually used to put a security system in a boat, an aircraft carrier made of all metal. So a single system used to put sensors all over the place through thick metal walls and everything, and it worked in a single system. So crazy. I mean, you know how big an aircraft carrier is. I mean, it's just absolutely massive, and all that crazy interference and things like that, and just the thickness of trying to go through. Everybody knows trying to go through metal is really hard, and they use this for a whole entire system in a single system on the aircraft carrier. It's now a museum. So PowerG is some pretty incredible technology, and to pair that with the legacy technology so that if you've got an installed base of Honeywell 2 gig sensors, for example, maybe you've got a bunch of Honeywell panels out there, or you've got a bunch of DSC panels out there, things like that, being able to take that and put that PowerG radio into it, but still be able to use those existing sensors. And because it's Dual-SRF, they don't have to worry about getting rid of the smoke detectors and things like that. It works for life safety. So I don't know if you know. So life safety devices, if you have like a smoke detector, you can't use a takeover module with that, because if the takeover module's batteries break or die or whatever, then the signal from the smoke detector to the thing won't ever get to the panel. But because the radio is actually installed inside the panel itself, then the smoke detector is connected directly to it, and you can actually reuse your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detection, things like that. So
That's
again,
really
saving money and also improving it. My personal favorite, and I don't know why, maybe it was something someone said at ISC this past week, but for me, it's the interference. You know, I'm realizing how many wireless devices I have in my home. I've got tablets, phones.
Well, it's not like your TVs.
Everything seems to be connected these days. And all of that starts creating a lot of interference, okay? Now, these little bands, and I don't want to get too technical here, mainly because I don't know what I'm talking about, but these bands of frequency get filled up. And I've learned that if you can take and use and almost change the channel on something and use a different frequency, everything's going to work a lot better.
Well, this is 50 channels, right?
Exactly. So this has 50, PowerG has 50 different channels to choose from. So if any of those channels are blocked, it's looking 64 times a second for a new for a new channel that's not blocked up or has problems. So pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
We have lots of questions.
Okay.
Cool. About PowerG.
I bet we do. Go ahead, Whitney. Hit us up.
Expected ship date to Canada.
To Canada. Well, it takes longer to get to Canada because it's so far away, and things get stuck in customs. So I would say sometime in 2027. No. Good question. Canadian ship dates for, in fact, ship dates for all of PowerG. We are waiting on Johnson Controls because they're the one who own. So Johnson Controls owns Visonic, the company that made and developed PowerG technology.
Okay.
It's an Israeli company. They made PowerG years ago, got to the attention of Tyco, who bought it, and Tyco, as you know, is now owned by Johnson Controls. So Johnson Controls owns the Visonic brand and the Visonic PowerG technology. They're the ones making those radios for us, the little daughter cards.
Okay.
And once those daughter cards are made available to us, we'll be putting them in panels. I've been told that it's sometime this summer. So keep your fingers crossed.
We're excited about this.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to have that in there. So good question. What other questions, Whitney?
Well, we have a request for your PowerG shirt with a Canadian flag.
Hey.
Isn't this a Canadian flag?
Isn't this a Canadian flag?
You mean Canadian flags don't have stripes on them?
I don't know.
So what do? We do like we do a
right
rectangle. We do a maple leaf with PowerG technology on it.
Not a bad idea.
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad
good idea.
It came from Travis.
It came from Travis?
Okay.
You got it, Travis. We're going to make it happen.
Okay.
I think that's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
Will IQ Remote work with the PowerG panel?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Yes, that's a fantastic question. A PowerG panel is an IQ panel, okay? But the difference
I
is
wish we had.
this one has it.
Does it?
Well, we
Oh,
have
I believe so.
perfect. This is what people like. I think being able to see where it
I'm
fits.
going to power this down
Okay.
Well, here.
so I can pull it out.
Does that one already have one?
Oh, it probably doesn't have the card, but it'll show you where. Panel tampered.
It's tampering the panel because I'm going to.
Here's this one.
Oh, this isn't a PowerG panel.
Something
Is this not a PowerG panel?
That has a
Something.
Oh, I thought this came back from our show and it
I
had
thought it
that
did.
one didn't.
Okay.
go.
All right. So PowerG goes in this slot right here in the panel. So this is 319, or if it ended up being another one of our legacy technologies, like 345 or things like that,
And then Z-Wave.
that would be this right here. And then this is the Z-Wave Plus. This panel actually has an image sensor installed in, so it's got the image sensor radio in there. PowerG would go in this slot right here. So great question. And because the IQ remote is working over Wi-Fi and PowerG works over a 900 megahertz encrypted frequency, there's no problem with using both. So
Cool. That
absolutely,
is a good question.
you'll be able
I
to
didn't
use
even
both an
think of
IQ remote and PowerG and another one of our legacy protocols in there, like 319.5S line. So great question.
That is good.
Other questions, Whitney?
Can you use PowerG and 433 contacts at the same time?
Yes,
That is
you
a good
can.
question.
Good
I
question.
think this is huge too.
That would be this bad boy right here. IQ panel with PowerG and the 433 radio for DSC. So you would be able to use 433 contacts in there. And I know a lot of people who, again, are interested in this because they had maybe like the old DSC Touch, which was our first generation IQ panel for Canada, and for the DSC, had a DSC radio in it. So the DSC Touch, there's a lot of people who purchased that and now want to upgrade to the IQ Panel 2, but want to do it with PowerG sensors.
Yeah.
Yep, good question.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting you to answer that one so fast.
Sorry, I will talk
Can you add PowerG radio to existing IQ Panel 2s?
Can you add a PowerG radio to existing IQ Panel 2s? Good question. I don't have 100% the answer to that. The biggest problem is going to be getting the actual daughter cards. And let me answer this two ways. So first off, you're talking about taking an IQ Panel 2 that's already installed with sensors that are already installed in a home and saying, now I want to upgrade you to PowerG. And while I can certainly see there would be potentially some people who would want to do that, you know, Kelsie, you've got your new house and you've got a bunch of existing sensors, but you're ready to move on to encryption and you want to take and get all encrypted PowerG sensors, but you don't want to have to buy a new panel. Could you get just a daughter card and install that? However, most of the time, you're probably going to be going into new installs where it's going to be, hey, which sensors do you want? Do you want these legacy 319 sensors, or do you want the PowerG sensors, or a mix of both? That's the more likely scenario on those. When we launch PowerG, it's going to be only PowerG panels. There won't be daughter cards to go inside because all the daughter cards we'll be making will go into the panels. We aren't planning on having loose ones that we're going to sell separately at the moment. However, if the market demands and you guys are saying that you've got an installed base that you'd like to upgrade to PowerG, let's talk. Let's find out what you need and let's see what we can do to help you out. As of right now, again, the plan is that we would launch these 3 panels, and we've got so much demand for those three panels that I think all the radios that are being built are planning on going into new panels for distribution. So good question. Whitney, next question.
Yes. I promise I have one. Does the DSC work with wired and wireless equipment? I'm guessing they're asking PowerG or 433.
Yeah, they're probably talking about Hardwire 16. I don't have one of those. So if you want to use the IQ Panel 2 with a hardwired system, we have a device called the Hardwire 16 that allow you to connect up to 16 zones to wire, and then once you wired in those zones into it, here, hold this. I'm gonna go find one. Tell them about that.
Okay, so once you wire them in, it'll run wirelessly, right? Now I'm put on the spot again. But the best part about this is it's a Hardwire 16S, right? So it's going to be encrypted to the panel.
So unencrypted devices that you connect to the hardwire
will then be encrypted.
Yeah. So Hardwire 16S, you can find these on distribution shelves today. This device right here, you can wire in 16 zones to that, automatically learns the resistor values. If you already have existing resistors on there, you just plug them in and it learns the values and you're good to go. Once it's learned the values of those resistors, you open and close each of the doors, and that allows you to pair it with the panel. And then all of the signals that go into here would then go wirelessly over the air to the IQ panel. Now, those wireless signals are encrypted. So that's why we went with the S version. We've got a green box version. You want to look for the gold box version because the gold box version means the wireless signals are encrypted.
And the part number and everything's on the website for this.
Correct. So that's available now. Absolutely. We do have a new version of this that we talked about at ISC West as well, called the called the ISC, called the IQ Hardwire 16 Fire. And that one is actually rated for residential fire as well. So you'll be able to do smoke detectors on that, and that's coming out, I believe, this summer as well.
Now that converts to 319.5.
Oh,
correct.
That's good. Yeah.
So this converts to 319.5, which means that you would need the gold box. So just match up your colors, gold box to gold box. As long as you've got a gold box, then this will work with that.
Okay, so he's asking, will the DSC devices work with wired and wirelessly to the work with wired and wireless equipment?
So he wants a hardwired DSC panel to work.
I think he wants. Hi, I'm Whitney. He wants this
to work with
that.
Good question. We don't have a 319. We don't have a 433 hardwired takeover device.
Yeah.
However, there might be one for DSC. I don't know. If there's one that's already working on 433, then that would work with the panel.
You would just have to make sure you have red box.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the 433 product line to know whether or not they've got an equivalent device to this for 433. So if any of you guys know, let us know. But
yeah,
that's a better question for your DSC rep is, do you have a hardwired to wireless takeover translator or whatever you want to call it for 433? So
is that UL listed?
Yes, this is UL listed.
And the Fire.
And the reason the Fire isn't out yet is because we're finishing our UL listing on it. Once it is UL listed, then we'll release it.
Will all PowerG wireless smoke detectors sound if one trips?
Really good question. I actually don't know the answer to that. PowerG is two-way wireless, which means that the panel can send a signal to the sensor and make it do something. In theory, could we say the smoke alarm is going off, send a signal to the smoke detectors to all go off, even though only one detected smoke? I think we could, but I don't know the answer to that. That's a better question. We are going to be doing a webinar coming up with a deep dive on how to pair PowerG sensors. That's a better question for our experts on PowerG at that point. It's a really good question. So hold on to that one, and we'll answer it in a couple weeks.
And there is a Resolution Technologies Hardwired 433 translator.
There we go.
Cool.
So Resolution Products has one, or what's their new name now? Ayada? No.
I'm thinking.
Alula.
Yes, it's such a fun word to say.
It is. Every time I think of Alula, I think of
Cool Runnings. Please tell me it's Cool Runnings.
No, I think of angelic choirs.
No, when he's naming the box and he goes Tallulah.
I think of Hallelujah. Is what I think of.
You don't? Shut
Cool
the
Runnings.
front door.
Cool Runnings was out before she was born. So
Kelsie.
I know it is. I've just never seen it. It might be on.
It wasn't
You
that
watch
great.
out.
It's on
Oh,
Netflix.
let's be clear about something. You liked it when you were a kid, and you remembered liking it, and you think you still like it now. I'm pretty sure you watch it again, you won't like it as much.
Well, I can't
Although
wait to find out when Kelsie's there.
I did watch Karate Kid 1 over the weekend, and it was just as good as when I was a kid.
Okay, I'll have to give that one another shot. That's gonna look
Okay,
cool.
well, I own Cool Runnings, so.
Okay.
Do you have a DVD?
I think it's on Netflix.
Hold on. Does she
Hey,
have a DVD?
people are gonna get really bored hearing us
Okay.
chat about movies here, people. Come
I
on,
know, sorry,
stay
we're
on
back to it.
topic.
Okay, more questions.
Okay,
It's not on topic. We have no more questions related to PowerG.
great. Okay, we have.
T-shirt giveaway.
So this was our exclusive staff T-shirt we used at ISC West. We've got a few of them because we had to get enough for all the staff to make sure that we had them, and we got a few extras, and we wanted to give a few away to some lucky winners today. Did anyone beat? Was it Chad from Arizona?
No, Chad is the reigning winner.
Chad, you got yourself a T-shirt, buddy. Tell Whitney
Chad.
what size. Make a note, Whitney. I don't know what size Chad wears.
You don't
but
wanna
let's make
guess.
sure. Yeah, we definitely don't want to guess. It's a ladies extra small.
And we want pictures.
Yeah. Oh, please. Okay, but we do want to pick two other winners.
Yep.
So, Kelsie, why don't you give us a random number from your brain between 1 and 100?
From your brain. Make sure it's from your brain.
65.
65. All right, I'm going to look here, and we'll go find 65. And it looks like the winner is Patty Bradley. Patty Bradley.
Sweet.
Hey, Patty,
Congratulations.
you just won yourself a shirt. And we have women's cut shirts too, so if you'd like one of those. So Patty, if you're listening right now, you want a shirt, Whitney will get your size from you, and we'll do that. So let's make sure we write down Chad and Patty,
Okay.
and then let's pick one more. Give me another random number between one. Let's do between 100 and 300.
227.
227. We got a lot of people on the webinars today. Troy Bolotnik?
Sweet.
I really hope I didn't mess up your name, Troy. Bolotnik.
I feel like I can see it.
I
can't.
Try to say it one more time.
Bolotnik. I want to say it's Bolotnik, but I'm maybe messing that up. It makes me want to say it in Russian. It sounds like a Russian name.
Okay, let's hear it.
Is it Russian? It makes me want to speak. There was a book I read to my kids this weekend.
Oh.
There was a book I read this weekend to my kids, and it was about this Russian grandmother who came to America, and it's a
Oh,
little
that's
story, but it was
cute,
cute. But I read the whole thing with the Russian accent. It was really fun. And the kids afterwards were like, I was like, did you understand that?
It
They're
is
like,
Russian.
no.
Say it with your
Oh.
Russian accent.
Bolotnik.
Wait, what?
He says,
Bolotnik.
yeah, that's about how he wrote it out.
Troy
Oh.
Bolotnik.
What's your size?
You have a good
Troy, what's your size? Thank you very much. So Troy, get us your shirt size, and we'll get you a shirt.
It means one who sits in a swamp.
One who sits in a swamp? That's fantastic.
That is cool.
And it comes from Bolotnitsky.
Bolotnik.
Oh, wow. All right.
Thank you,
well,
Tobarish.
congratulations.
Yeah. All right. Let's do one more.
Okay.
We said we do two, but I think we should do one more.
All right.
And
We're
these
gonna
shirts are
do
awesome.
ours.
You guys are gonna love. I mean, look how nice you're gonna look.
I don't know if you're selling it or not.
Okay, Kelsie.
Oh, I have to do it too. This is it.
Got the Qolsys
You
sleeve
missed the
on the
Qolsys
sleeve. Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
think that's it.
Yeah. So
Nice.
men's cuts and women's cuts.
Uh-huh.
Let's do one more. Let's do between 50 and 150.
50 and 150. 111.
Ooh, good call. 111.
Fun fact, 11 is Jeremy's favorite number.
It
I
is. Mike Dover
Oh,
from Connect.
Mike. I think I talked to him before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
he
job,
sounds
Mike.
Familiar.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job, being number 111.
Mike, send Whitney your size, please.
Yep, we need your size, and we'll get you a T-shirt. Whitney, are there any other questions that we need to make sure we answer before we end the webinar today?
Can you use a lamp modular to power up a 30-watt siren self-contained? That sounds like a technical question. Yeah, your eyes just got really big.
I don't know what that means.
Can you
I was
use
gonna
a
let you
lamp
answer that
module
one.
to power a self-contained siren?
30-watt siren.
A 30-watt siren.
It says 30W.
Yeah.
We'll send it to our team.
Email technical support at Qolsys.com.
Technical support at Qolsys.com.
You know what we're going to do is you are going to find that answer out because it's good for you to learn this. And then you're going to email them back and let them know.
Okay, that's fair. I'll
Yep.
email you.
Okay.
Whitney,
Good
get us email.
Another thing before we go today, guys, we have another webinar next week. We're going to do a technical deep dive into some of our diagnostic tools. That was another big hit at the show this year, is the diagnostic tools that are on the IQ panel, the Z-Wave mapping, the sensor, the ability to see sensor range on screen. Really, really exciting. Obviously, once you start installing PowerG, you don't need to see sensor range anymore because you're always going to have connection. But it's nice to be able to see it. It's a very cool tool. We're going to do a nice deep dive about it. I won't be here. I'll be out in Orlando.
And Jeremy Blakeney.
And Jeremy Blakeney, I believe, one of our technical account managers will be here. And they're going to walk you through all of it. So please come again and tell your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it around so we can make sure that everybody gets this information. Again, this video is recorded and will be up on our YouTube page later on today. And that address is
youtube.com/Qolsys.
Qolsys. Trick question, not trick question, quick quiz question. What does Qolsys stand for?
I feel like we should send them a shirt if they know.
You should. First person to
I'll send you a shirt.
First person to put it in the comments right now.
Yep.
Oh, Micah.
Oh.
Micah.
Actually, a lot of people.
Really?
Okay, but Micah was the
impressive.
first, right? Micah's got the fastest fingers. And
Micah
what did he say?
Sutter.
Is it right?
Quality of life system.
Quality of life systems. Nice
Good
work,
job.
Micah.
That's
Good
good.
job. Okay, send Whitney your t-shirt size, Micah, and we'll get you a shirt. Guys, it has been awesome. I had a lot of fun today.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully it
And
wasn't too
ISC
boring
was
for
fun,
you.
So it was fun to relive
ISC
it.
was awesome.
Yeah,
And
it was
guys,
good.
watch for the follow-up email that we send out a follow-up email after these webinars. In tomorrow's email, you'll have a link to all the different, there's a whole channel or a playlist on YouTube of events and all the new videos we recorded at the event at ISC West will be in there, so you can look at those. So watch for that. And if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to email us, marketing@Qolsys.com, or you can email sales@Qolsys.com if you're interested in becoming a dealer, or go to our website at Qolsys.com.
That's right.
Thanks very much. We will stay on the line briefly, answer any last questions you got, but otherwise, the rest of you guys, thanks for joining, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.